welcome to this update video this morning. I hope you're doing amazing, and we'll be looking at what is happening across the North Atlantic basin as well as the Pacific, where there is some action going on. So we're going to start out with the Eastern Pacific. Here we're looking at this graphic and we can see Gilma still out there as a hurricane, not currently a problem for anyone, and the disturbance is located to the east-southeast of it. So we can see that red X that is indicating that it has a high chance of formation, a high 80% chance of formation through the next 7 days. So it could become a tropical depression by this weekend. And well to the west of these systems is Tropical Storm Hone that formed in the Central Pacific Basin. So because it crossed the international date line, which is right there 140 degrees west, it would acquire a name from the list for the Central Pacific, and Hone is the first name on that list. So Hone is a problem for Hawaii though, or at least it is likely to be a problem as we head into the weekend. So let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast. And of course, Hawaii is located further to the west, so the island chain is further behind time than the Caribbean or even in the Americas. So as of the time I'm recording this video, it is just after 1 a.m. So as of the latest update, we can see the big island of Hawaii County, under that tropical storm watch. So that is what the yellow shading represents. So as we're going to be heading into this weekend, there could be a lot of rainfall, probably rainfall amounts of 4 to 8 inches within the island, and other smaller islands around may experience anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. So Hone is going to be close enough to unleash those tropical storm-like impacts, hence that watch in effect. But right now, Hone has maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour, and it is moving to the west at 14 miles per hour. And by early next week on Sunday, it could acquire hurricane status when it is going to be passing the south of the Hawaiian Islands. So we'll see what eventually happens with this, and there can be adjustments in the track. It can shift a bit further to the north, a bit further to the south. Overall, the Hawaiian Islands definitely should be on watch, especially the Big Island where that tropical storm watch is in effect. So the necessary preparations are to be made, especially as it relates to the water. If you're in an area that floods very easily, it's best to get to higher ground or a shelter if you can, just to make sure that you protect yourself and even your loved ones and pets. Let's not leave out the pets as best as possible. And of course, I'll keep you updated as we head throughout this weekend as the system approaches. Hopping over into the Atlantic basin, while there isn't an active tropical storm, there is a tropical wave in the central Caribbean near Jamaica, and it's inducing a lot of activity there. So a couple days ago, the Caribbean was looking quite dry and quiet, but hey, we have a little bit of an increase in rainfall and thunderstorm activity. And another tropical wave is out there as well, and then it looks as though another will be emerging soon from the African coast. Let's zoom in closer here so we can see these showers, thunderstorms across the area in parts of Jamaica as well as Cuba, going up to the vicinity of the Bahamas as well. So with this tropical wave, it's going to be a pretty wet day in parts of the central Caribbean today. And then headed to Central America, we can see some showers and thunderstorms around as well. So let's go ahead and look at the rainfall forecast from Euro, and we can see all of this color. Lots of orange and red shadings indicating rainfall amounts probably just up to or over an inch for the Bahamas, parts of Cuba, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and even a few spots in Hispaniola, especially Haiti. And elsewhere, headed to Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and through the Lesser Antilles, there could be some showers around as well, but it may not be widespread across everywhere. And then for the ABC Islands and the Guyanas as well, things should be a little bit on the drier side. Venezuela, Colombia experience a bit more in terms of shower and thunderstorms. And then same thing for much of Central America, Panama, parts of Costa Rica, headed to sections of northern Nicaragua, Honduras, the Bay Islands of Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, a couple spots in El Salvador as well. So for the northern islands that will be experiencing that increase in rain due to the tropical wave, with all the rainfall expected, especially as we head into the afternoon when that daytime heating really helps to generate more activity, there could be those instances of flooding, especially in the more vulnerable areas. So please ensure you make all the necessary, take all the necessary precautions if it is the case where you may encounter any floodwaters. Turn around, don't drown, don't attempt to cross flooded bridges or roadways. So hopefully that is not going to be the case, but it's definitely a possibility with all this increase in rainfall and thunderstorm activity. So that is what is going on right now for the Caribbean. And then as it relates to development, we still definitely have to watch for the end of August headed to September. We're still seeing the hints for that. This is what the GFS model is forecasting. We can see this goes out to Saturday, the 7th of September. So that's pretty far out from now. But the model is showing something potentially trying to get itself together in the Central Caribbean and another system headed to the Gulf Coast of the U.S. Of course, this is not something solid. And then as we look at the ICON model, this is not for that far in September, but rather next Friday, the 30th, the second to last day of August. We can see that the model is sniffing at something headed to the vicinity of the Gulf. So different time frames here, but we can see a similar expectation with that Gulf system that is being forecasted. So we'll have to wait and see what eventually happens. We definitely have to keep our eyes on these tropical waves, especially as they head more west and may encounter more conducive conditions to intensify. And that is why I'm here to keep you posted as best as possible, guys. And also, as we look at conditions for the sea surface temperatures, it's very warm. The Gulf, very, very warm and favorable right now. Same thing for the Caribbean. And as a result, that is the fuel needed for rapid intensification to take place, because even far beneath the surface is very warm and very favorable to allow for rapid intensification to happen once other environmental conditions are conducive. So we're going to be heading into the heart of the hurricane season, and we're really going to be seeing an increase in activity as the weeks come by. So again, we've got a couple systems over in the Pacific, Hone, which has prompted that tropical storm watch for Hawaii. And then there is also Gilma. The long-term Gilma, or whatever's left of it, may move to Hawaii as well. We'll have to watch for that. And then another tropical depression may form in the Eastern Pacific by this weekend. And then in the Atlantic, we've got a couple tropical waves. One that is going to be, it is unleashing an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity for the Central Caribbean. So that's going to be continuing throughout today, and that may even result in some instances of flooding in the more vulnerable areas. And so, guys, I'll continue to keep you posted, and that is it for today's update. And I do hope you found it to be informative. But if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll respond to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.